Take for example the whole idea of a Falls Count Anywhere match. The name sounds simple enough, pin your opponent, but it doesn't have to happen in the ring. Oh no, it can happen literally anywhere. And when I say anywhere, I mean anywhere. This brings us to one of the most bizarre moments in WWE history: wall pinfalls. Let me walk you through it. It's 2001, and the WWE is running one of its hardcore, no-holds-barred matches for the Hardcore Championship. We're talking about a crazy mix of Kurt Angle, The Rock, and Big Show all in one ring. This was a match where the only rule seemed to be that anything goes, and that included pinning your opponent in the most random ways. So, what does Big Show do? He literally pins Essa Rios against a wall backstage. Big Show found an empty wall backstage and decided that it was the perfect place for a pinfall. The referee, without skipping a beat, counted the 3, and just like that, Big Show was the new Hardcore Champion. It might sound completely absurd, but in WWE, anything is possible, especially when it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. The whole point of these matches is that there are no boundaries. The action spills out of the ring, backstage, into the crowd, wherever it needs to go. The wall wasn't just a random backdrop. It was just as legitimate a surface as the mat. When the ref counts, it's official. Here's another bizarre rule that might blow your mind if you're not familiar with it. Fences count as legitimate pinning surfaces in WWE. It's one of those rules that, once you hear about it, you can't help but laugh and think, only in WWE. It all goes down in Fully Loaded 1999, a match between Al Snow and Big Boss Man. This wasn't your standard wrestling match. No, this one was hardcore, and that meant things could get real messy real fast. During the fight, Boss Man takes it to a whole new level. He handcuffs Al Snow to a fence. Now, just picture that for a second. Your arms are locked to a fence. You're stuck, and your opponent's got the advantage. It's already looking like a bad situation for Al Snow. But here's where it gets even crazier. Instead of going for a classic pin on the mat, Big Boss Man just casually steps up to Snow and places his foot on Snow's chest, pinning him against the fence. And just like that, the referee counts it. Yep, the ref didn't hesitate. It was a solid pinfall. The weird part? It's not just that the fence was part of the match. It's that the fence was treated like any other pinning surface. You would think the ring or the mat would be the only legit places for a pin, right? But nope, in the world of WWE, anything goes. In this case, the fence was just another tool in Big Boss Man's arsenal, and the match ended with him getting the victory. You'd think a fence wouldn't be enough to win a match, but in WWE, it's a whole different ballgame. The rules are designed to keep things chaotic, and this moment is the perfect example of just how far WWE is willing to take the idea of Falls Count Anywhere. Here's another rule that's pretty wild. Forklifts can be used as pinning tools in WWE. Yeah, I know it sounds insane, but it's true. It's part of WWE's anything goes mentality, and it doesn't get more ridiculous or entertaining than this. Back in 1999, during one of the most memorable moments in wrestling history, we saw an iconic match called the Empty Arena match between Mankind and The Rock. It's already a match filled with chaos and mayhem, and here's where things take a turn into the absurd. To keep Mankind down for the pin, he doesn't just cover The Rock the regular way. No. Instead, Mankind uses a forklift to lower a pallet onto The Rock. Can you imagine? A forklift! It's not just a weird sight, it's a legit strategy in WWE. The ref sees the pallet on top of The Rock, counts the pin, and that's it. Mankind wins the match, all thanks to a piece of heavy machinery. It's a perfect example of how WWE takes no holds barred to the next level. As long as it gets the job done, anything can be used, even a forklift. The most interesting part, the use of the forklift wasn't just some gimmick for the storyline. It was totally legal in this match because the rules of the match allowed for anything, even mechanical assistance. I'm telling you, in WWE, the limits are non-existent when it comes to winning a match. This idea of using non-wrestling equipment didn't stop there. Fast forward to 2014, during the TLC match at WWE's annual Tables, Ladders, and Chairs event. Big Show, always the giant in the ring, uses steel steps to help pin Eric Rowan. The Big Show literally sets the steel steps on top of Rowan, then proceeds to pin him underneath them, with the referee counting the pin. Again, it's another example of how WWE doesn't limit its creativity when it comes to getting a win. When it comes to WWE, one of the wildest things about the matches is how anything goes. If you've ever watched a no disqualification, no DQ match, then you know what I'm talking about. The whole point of these matches is that there are no rules, and I mean no rules. While most matches stick to the basics of wrestling, when it's no DQ, that's when the real madness happens. You've probably seen the unusual weapons used in these type of matches: steel chairs, tables, and sledgehammers. These have become WWE staples. The sound of a chair smashing against someone's back or a table breaking in half is a signature part of WWE's chaotic charm. And let's not forget about barbed wire. Whether it's wrapped around a weapon or used in a ring, the sight of it adds an extra level of brutality to the match. The pain is real, and it makes for a match that fans won't forget anytime soon. But here's the part that really gets crazy: chainsaws. In WWE, chainsaws are totally allowed. They've been used in some matches, and no, it's not just for show. It started with a wrestler named Chainsaw Charlie, who made his debut in the late 90s. As his name suggests, he came to the ring wielding a real chainsaw. Now, before you think it was some fake gimmick, this was the real deal. Charlie used the chainsaw in actual matches, and it wasn't just a prop to scare opponents. WWE went all in on this one, and the chainsaw was a legitimate weapon that could be used to gain an advantage. And if you think that's something that only happened in the past, think again. In 2016, Terry Funk, the legendary wrestler, handed Dean Ambrose a chainsaw during his feud with Brock Lesnar. Ambrose was all set to use it on Lesnar, but of course, in true WWE fashion, things didn't go as planned. Brock Lesnar stopped him before he could even start the chainsaw. Still, the fact that it was even on the table shows just how far WWE is willing to go when it comes to weapons. One of the strongest and most unique rules in WWE has to do with titles that can change hands 24/7. The Hardcore title and the 24/7 title are defended at any time, anywhere, and against anyone. This means that if you're the champion, you might be sitting in the locker room, and out of nowhere someone could run in, pin you, and take your title, no questions asked. It could happen while you're eating dinner, in the middle of a promo, or even during a completely unrelated match. The beauty of these titles is that anything goes. The Hardcore title, for example, could change hands multiple times in a single night,